Burgess Owens may not be a household name, but if you were a boy growing up in the 1960s and 70s and you were a football fan, you knew the name Burgess Owens. He was a defensive back for a long time with the New York Jets and then later with the Raiders, where he won a Super Bowl. I was growing up in Western New York State at the time, and the Buffalo Bills had three barely winning seasons in the mid 70s. Back then, Buffalo had a quarterback named Joe Ferguson, and in the division, he was adequate, but he was there for years, but he was not quite up to snuff. Burt Jones played for Baltimore. Burt Jones would be in the Hall of Fame if not for injuries. Bob Greasy played for Miami. He's in the Hall of Fame. Joe Namath played for the Jets. He's in the Hall of Fame. Jim Plunkett won a couple of Super Bowls after leaving New England, where he was at the time, and going out to Oakland to play with the Raiders. Owens was a defensive back with the Jets. Sometimes it felt like he was Joe Ferguson's best receiver. So at the time, we didn't necessarily look forward to seeing a lot of Burgess Owens, but I am just ecstatic that Owens pulled out a congressional win in neighboring Utah. The details came in late yesterday afternoon. It looked after election night like he had lost in his challenge, and this was a pickup for Republicans in the House of Representatives. When election night closed, we heard that there might be as many as 6 Republican pickups. Now it may be more than a dozen as the numbers are recounted, which does show you, of course, in smaller races, it's likely easier to overturn them. So the consolation prize for the GOP, we may have lost the top race. Technically, we may have lost the top race. We'll never know by the looks of things. And then down ballot, it looks as if Republicans will have enough. Owens was on Fox and Friends this morning, and he was saying that if they can pick up the 2 seats in the special election in Georgia, they're pretty well going to stop whatever the Democrats have in mind for the socialization of this country. I will leave you with this today in this rather brief video. Tucker Carlson on his program last night on the Fox News Channel was talking about how the lockdown regimes are being used to socially re-engineer the peoples of the Western countries. And he brought up some video from September. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, is talking about what a great opportunity this is to do all of that social engineering. Borrowing a line from Rahm Emanuel, never let a good crisis go to waste. I don't know if he said good or not, but it may well have been what he used in his phrasing. This is an effort to try to rebalance the world and maybe remove the capitalist system that has lifted so many people out of poverty and move us into a much more globalist, socialist style regime. I know I sound a lot like a John Birch Society member. I'm not. But as my life goes on and I get older, and the more that I read and the more that I know, the conspiracy theories in many cases start looking a lot better than what I hear from the mainstream sources, who appear to be just working as shills for the New World Order, especially when it comes to major American media. There was a story yesterday out of France, reported by the Washington Examiner, which is alternative media in the nation's capital. And it says the French are furious because American media, such as the New York Times and the Washington Post, are reporting stories out of France about terrorists who are being killed by police, as if the police are out gunning down poor minorities. This is after the very same terrorists would be beheading people. And it shows you just the mindset of what we're dealing with. It's almost satanic. I don't know any other way to put it. If you were to finally drive them out, they would probably rush down the hill and into the water and drown themselves. But before they would do that, they would turn around and tell you that we are Legion. Gotta run. If you like our videos, click on the subscribe button above. Also, you can leave comments in the comments section below. My name is Bill Colley. Jake Smith is my co-partner in this. I should say he's in this venture. He's one of 3 people involved. We have another guy behind the scenes. You can listen to my program Monday through Friday, 6 until 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And you can do that either by downloading an app for News Radio 1310 KLIX or go to the web, newsradio1310.com, and click on the Listen Live button.